I just set this to record because someone named Andy, who is a former employee of Mike Fleming's, a bigoted creep who enabled a bunch of people to commit a hate crime in the form of a gay conversion therapy done to me, that basically got carried away. And eventually it involved Adam Sandler, the film producer, and my life became just a platform for them abusing me. I have implants, cochlear implants in my body that were put there during wisdom tooth removal surgery, and basically using that forced speech and the ability to listen to my subvocal processes, these reprehensible animals um, went about doing something very disgusting. While I treated them all like friends and family because they were supposed to be for most of this, they treated me like a fucking worthless piece of garbage from the side of the road and walked on my life and did the cruelest imaginable things to me. I've lived with just atrocities, literal fucking atrocities done to me, and these assholes just walked away from it because I didn't tell the police or anything, as I couldn't. They walked away from it slandering me and bullshitting everyone in sight and saying they did next to nothing when they did fucking evil, horrific shit to me. Most people would be in a mental hospital permanently for the kind of harm that was done to me by these individuals. But they're claiming I'm overreacting and delusional from drugs because they're fucking pathetic, ugly assholes. Chelsea Potts, for example, is fucking kicking around with a pedophile named John Harris, a pedophile friend of hers, who she brought into my home after requesting help from me, claiming a David Merle was beating the shit out of her. Then when she shows up at my house with this asshole, saying she needed help, she goes about trying to traumatize me. And since then, she left my house after that, but left a bunch of her stuff there because she wanted to later on try claiming common law status, as she thought she could fuck me legally with it. And beyond that, she slandered me everywhere she went and claimed that I abused her, not the other way around. She's a reprehensible pig. And I would like to offer this. Please take this recording. Go to UVic and go to the phonetics department and have them perform voice stress analysis on this. This, along with every other video I've uploaded, I'm speaking nothing but unbiased truth. You can validate that by using this technology. Then, of course, once you did and you started asking questions like, why is this person honest when he's talking about these attempted murder fucks? Why is he always honest in our readings and they seem to be full of shit? Well, when you ask that question finally, because they bullshitted everyone else in sight, maybe you can get around to talking to me and you'll see I have a wealth of evidence from Freedom of Information Act requests and other things that establish this disgusting, reprehensible lowlife is what she is. I've not seen anything lower to the ground than what I lived through here. I shouldn't be listening to threats made by these assholes after they did everything they did to me. And I've been listening to it for days, years. Fuck. It's disgusting. And as for drug abuse, let's be perfectly clear about this. I'm the only person here who is even using drugs in a responsible fashion. These disgusting fucks, after robbing me repeatedly, using illegal surveillance they had on me to situate robberies against me, they went about getting high and committing a fucking hate crime at my detriment. Well, I did nothing to them. I don't get high and go off and hurt people like a piece of shit. These people who are responsible for this at the core of it, they're responsible for going out of their way to hurt innocent people that don't do a fucking thing to them just because they can't cope with that person being different. They're filthy fucking animals and abusive shit. Like this idiot Andy I'm talking about. He should be in jail for the rest of his fucking life. He took 26 years of my life, and I had 26 years of my life polluted by having an asshole like that cling to me and try and ruin every personal experience I had in my life. He's a degenerate piece of shit, and he shouldn't be walking the street. If you agree that people they go around hurting innocent people like fucking barbaric shit don't deserve to be in our community, then you should agree with these assholes being investigated properly, not by the fucking crooked asshole cops involved in this, one of which is named Lacey and works at the Saanich Police Department, who facilitated what this monster did to my life. This disgusting asshole of a cop has been there from day one when they were sexually interfering with me and doing other things. And this disgusting woman actually threatened my life today. She threatened me again with arrest and wrongful charges being laid on me because she's a fucking reprehensible cunt. That said, I didn't pay taxes for all the years I worked, so some fucking sick asshole cop could threaten me into silence. So that said, Lacey is this person's name, and she has a grudge against me from being of my sexual orientation and shit, and also from shit in like grade 6. So, I mean, fuck. It's fucking bullshit. It's complete bullshit. But anyways, that's her name, and you know what? If she doesn't respond to it, you know what? I think it's kind of telling. If I can put a police officer's name online, post it everywhere I do, and I'm calling them guilty of being associated with attempted murders and turning a blind eye to all the crimes that were done to me at my detriment. But Adam Sandler was there, so I guess if he throws enough money at it, it doesn't matter, right? And that is the case. That was the case with the Victoria Police too, to my knowledge, at least as much as I was informed of. Um, yeah, I don't give a shit though. I'm right is right and wrong is wrong, regardless of how much money you have or whether Adam asshole Sandler there wants to fund you. And Adam Sandler did from day one of him talking to me. The evening he talked to me, I had a pile of paperwork from Freedom of Information Act requests in front of me, and he was with someone named Al Rose trying to provoke me to the point I'd go insane or die from a heart attack. And I established with him clearly, you're aiding in the continuity of an act of torture that's taken place without justification. He was told I would be written off to a mental hospital and they would never have charges pressed on them. So he didn't care. Their plan just didn't work out. And they even have someone working at the administration at Eric Martin Institute who tried to use their power there to get me fucking wrongly committed in a long-term capacity to write off the fact they used my life in this abusive way for that long. Um, there's lots I could add to this. There's tons I could add. I've got to a point where I've so lost faith in the people who've done this that even the prospect of them being vaguely decent persons. I come from a background of having really bad self-esteem. I had none growing up and I developed it over the course of time. In between working one job and having some of these people out of my life and starting another, there's like a 5 year lapse of time or something. I basically worked on myself and I got where I need to be psychologically. These assholes come back into my life and they think I still have massive self-esteem issues and they try working with it. So because Dave McGilvery, fucking Chelsea Potts, and a few other assholes thought I was still vulnerable to this kind of sickening abuse they subjected me to, I got to hear these pathetic fucks follow me to work every single day and use microphones to talk to these devices in my ear canals, which are there very clearly. I have endoscope footage of them being embedded in my ear canal and have like a new layer of skin grown over them. And I got to hear them say the most reprehensible shit imaginable to me every day, telling me I was too ugly to love, fucking all this dirty loser shit only their fucking pathetic loser minds would come up with. And it's so goddamn gross and repugnant that I've lived through this. And I mean, I really hope someone does find this and they perform voice stress analysis on it, because I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart with like absolute, I'm exercising unbiased consideration while I'm relating it. But I mean, it's so fucking gross that I've lived through this and they're standing there threatening me. Chelsea Potts and this fucking idiot John Harris standing there trying to talk shit to me and provoke me. I mean, it's so gross. It's not even something I can relate. It's so fucking nasty. But yeah, they don't really give a shit. They're still hiding and transmitting shit to me against my will and assuring me hundreds of times an hour that they'll get away with the harm they did to me. That's all they do, basically. And it goes on this general assumption that if their gross loser asses do this enough, I'll start to believe that they can get away with the massive pile of atrocious crime they've done to me. They're relying on fucking being able to bullshit people using the right tone of voice and suggesting it's I'm overreacting to shit. No, I'm not. If you have someone you don't want to talk to, able to listen to your subvocal processes, and able to talk to you against your will, no matter what you do, even if you put a pillow over your fucking head and squeeze, they can still talk clearly into your nervous system. And you have that piece of malicious shit trying to drive you insane, trying to provoke you to self-harm or anything else, then it's the most repugnant fucking thing you could live through. Al Rose, that piece of shit, when he was here, now that I remember it, he was stalking me and fucking saying every reprehensible thing you could think of, trying to provoke me to self-harm because apparently he fucked Chelsea Potts at some point. And so he joined, and this is someone I worked with. He's on the work crew I was with. And I knew him from that, and he was also a bouncer in Victoria. But he was following me around to the point I was like foaming at the mouth. I was so fucking revolted that such a fucking mannerless piece of pig shit could fucking enter my life and do that. And this asshole tried to drive me to a heart attack, and he literally mocked me to the effect of saying, I'm going to kill you with a heart attack and get away with it. He's not the only one who said it either. So this is what Chelsea Potts and others actually get up to when they fucking violate people's lives. I don't deserve to live with this shit fucking following me around, taking another moment of my life. I lost 26 years, so this sick, pathetic asshole can do what she's doing. I don't know exactly what the nature of the media that's been given to the Victoria public. No, we'll talk about the Johnson building and internal electrocution, and we'll wrap it up. Pardon me. Um, what I was just referring to is one day they've stolen every unit of transportation I've had in the past 26 years. I've been ripped off for everyone. And one of the last ones I had was a Yamaha Vino motorcycle. I took it to the Johnson building to see someone who's vaguely involved, and when it was up near a room, an arrangement was made for someone to buy it for $1,000 and some drugs. And basically, um, this person took it down a floor. They vanished, and they never gave me the money. They just fucked off and acted like idiots. They took the key with them, and basically, this reprehensible piece of shit. In the end, I waited 3 days, and he gave me $400 and wasted a fuckload of my time. And basically, they put in the basement, and then someone named Darcy Panic apparently wrote it out of there somewhere. But basically, this fucking low life piece of shit doing this. Um, well, in the course of doing this, what they did with these implants in my body, they electrocuted me internally in this way that caused my ears to pop like 60 times a second. It was fucked. And I was convulsing. I was, yeah, I was just, it was fucking me up entirely. And I'm not even sure how it was done still, but I was being threatened as it was done. People from the building that were in the know of what was being done to me came out and smugly made comments to me. And like in the course of this, eventually, after standing there for like half a day with this going on periodically, there were people driving up to me, pointing and looking as I was convulsing on the street and like just sitting against the wall trying to cope with the pain. And there were all these people coming and pointing and laughing at me and shit. I don't know what the fuck these people did to tell. They told the general public was going on with me, that I was out there and this was happening. But I don't buy that the general public is full of malicious assholes that would be laughing at someone being tortured. So obviously, Adam Sandler, Chelsea Potts, or someone else involved was out there actively slandering me, as she slandered the living shit out of me and destroyed my reputation, basically. Like everything she did was oriented around this. Basically, to my understanding, that's what was relayed to me, anyways. But basically, I left town a while after that, after like seeking shelter somewhere. I went and bought a bottle of tequila to ease the pain, and I drank as much as I could handle. I don't even drink alcohol, and that's another thing that should be established. Some of these pieces of pig shit have been calling me an alcoholic throughout this. I'm not a fucking alcoholic. I don't drink at all. I mean, if I drink, I have like 1 to 2 drinks of vodka straight, and that's basically it. But this reprehensible pig of a loser has been telling people that I'm an alcoholic still, because she's just a reprehensible fucking liar. And I'm tired at this point of fucking. I'm not tired of anything here, really, but I mean, she doesn't have any right to fucking do that. Why should I put up with someone talking shit about me, making things up and misrepresenting me? I'd rather, I'll stop it right here and not go a day longer with any of this. Um, my name is Peter Anthony Manette. I'm literally a victim of gay conversion therapy and continued torture that went on for about 26 years of exploitation of the situation by other people. The people in question. I think Adam Sandler was lying to people, claiming that he paid me or I was being compensated for this abuse. Haven't received a cent from him. Instead, he was responsible for robberies done to me. They basically made money off me, and what he told me and others told me was that they were using money they got that was supposed to go to me to pay people to harm me. And this came in the form of them arranging with drug dealers. Like, I call a drug dealer, they call them then, and they offer the person twice as much money to give me fake drugs and rip me off. Once I was in the state of going through drug withdrawal needlessly, as I wasn't using them abusively, though these assholes will try and tell people they were doing it out of concern for my well-being, they're just fucking reprehensible liars manipulating public perception. And the thing is, as soon as I went into drug withdrawal, they immediately tried to depress me and drive me to suicide, encouraging me actively to commit suicide. because they want to write off everything they've done and see me die, so they can get away with being the pieces of shit they actually are. Um, Again, all of this voice stress analysis. This recording in itself should provide a very fucking thorough example of someone being honest about what they lived through. And while I have a group of people crowding me and trying to tell me it won't work out for me or they'll fucking get away with it, whatever the fuck they're saying, the fact is I was subject to this atrocity, and the people in question were so gross. They just kept coming back with the same offensive shit. Like every asshole who they ever conceptualized to be a bully or someone that bothered me, they got them one after another to be the persons harassing me this morning. So it's like I had to listen to fucking this pile of fucking abusive, unthinking, inconsiderate asshole shit fucking get in my face and hurt me one after another. And then I'm supposed to conceptualize them as just randomly being there by chance, and it's okay that they did this. Well, it was never okay. I didn't do anything to deserve this. 26 years of my life I had taken from me. And while these people came and went doing what they wanted, watching me live through devices that shouldn't be my body, but were put there in a non consensual fashion and used to spy on me, violate every human right I have, and do this petty shit. As that took place, I got to hear them regardless, because they felt they wanted to drive me insane still. And isn't that a fucking noble cause, to stalk someone and force yourself on them like a fucking creep just to hurt them? Like, I find it atrocious when I look at the situation. I look at people that were introduced to this later, and they act as though Chelsea Potts is somehow justified in what she did. She's being a fucking reprehensible piece of shit who lied her ass off, to my understanding. Though it's not her primarily, I don't think. I think it's a handful of them, because they're always using her name and blaming her for all the shit done to me, which leads me to believe it probably isn't her. It's probably mostly someone else. I really I'm finding it difficult to even address any one of the people doing this. I mean, I've said to them, if you want to talk to me, approach me, use a text message, email me. Just, I'm not going to respond to anything that comes through me by this means of communication, which was used to torture me. And they say, fuck you, and they try doing it anyways. But that's just the lack of humanity in them, I guess. Anyways, if I didn't say it, my name is Peter Anthony Manette. I'm a survivor of gay conversion therapy torture, and I'm still subject to abuses from the same individuals who initiated this. Though in recent years they've been producing media out of my life of some kind, I'm not really sure what it is. And basically, anything they told any law enforcement involved or anyone, any lawyers, they don't have a right to do any of this. And what they are doing, I'm quite positive, is entirely illegal. Like, you don't have the right to force people into suicide and shit. Well, that's exactly what they're trying to do. Right to the fact that I had someone encouraging me to put a crossbow bolt through my head after I was screaming in exasperation because he and Norm Macdonald were getting in my face so prolifically and so disgustingly at some point during my going through into a drug withdrawal they caused, that Adam Sandler then suggested I shoot myself. And I had a loaded crossbow in my hand. Later on, there was another incident of a like nature, but obviously I have no intention of taking my life or even harming myself. These assholes just misrepresent everything and say that's the case, but it's absolutely repugnant. You can be more disregarding of life and more offensive than you are if you do that. And I had to live with that shit being done to me, and the same person standing there right to this moment trying to force speech on me. My address is 8985 East Saanich Road in Sydney, BC, area code V8L1H4. This is across the street from Kelsett School and like 2 blocks from the Victoria International Airport. And most of these events took place here. Oh yeah, my parents are criminally involved in this. That's why it was able to occur in the first place. The neighbors and the father of one of the people involved, who's the provincial electorate of this country, or was, and his relative involved in this isn't guilty of anything. She's just happened to be like used in the same context as me, basically. So I'm not insinuating anything of her. She hasn't done anything to anyone as far as I know. But these people lied to the police during an investigation into a hate crime, as my parents weren't really oblivious to what was being done to me after I finished college, or Like I finished like an access course I was doing in college, and basically these individuals, while I was studying for a CCNA exam in Vancouver, began tormenting me, just fucking running on and off the property, yelling hateful things, bigoted things. It wasn't that huge a deal, but the dog I had at the time, she gets riled up and she starts barking and wants to chase people out and everything. They stopped liking the dog for that reason. And you know what? That dog, who's my best friend and my only friend at the time, really, she ends up poisoned to death because these sick pieces of shit didn't like her being there. And they did this after killing other pets I had, killing my Muscovy ducks and my koi I had. I had an indoor koi pond. And these reprehensible assholes poisoned them all. And Mike Fleming was involved in this, to my understanding. Chelsea Potts and a few other people I can name, but I'm not going to right now. And basically, as of them killing my dog, who really meant the world to me, who was like having a child lost, I was grieving the dog's loss, and they came back doing what they were doing, harassing me. But this time, when they came back, they were talking directly into my fucking nervous system in a fashion I couldn't evade. And I was on the verge of fucking going mad for like weeks being abused by this means. It's still used to this day. If they've presented anything to the rest of the world about the nature of what they've done, they're reprehensible shit and liars. What they did was monstrous, evil shit. And I shouldn't even downplay it. I mean, anyone who do this kind of cruelty to another human being shouldn't even be in the general population. They're fucking disgusting animals for doing it. And I lost so much of my life to this. Like every experience I had that could have been so much more beautiful had some asshole loser tethered to it trying to ruin it for me, saying the nastiest, most hateful, pathetic shit any human being could, and it was forced on me every single day. These reprehensible fucking creeps doing this are just so low to the ground and so undeserving of forgiveness at this point, because I went out of my way to make it possible for them to rectify the harm they did or at least stop doing it, and they just took it every opportunity to do. They took it and they tried to hurt me more with it, constantly threatening to frame me for rape and shit like this. Well, I'm pretty sure I don't owe any of them a comment even, let alone fucking breakfast or anything else. That said, I'm gonna wrap this up and upload it. I'll just leave it running for a moment or two, but then that's it. So if you want to contact me, and here I'm gonna give you more incentive to take this seriously. I'm putting my name here as a part of a verbal contract being established and solidifying it on a YouTube channel that's publicly accessible. If you can challenge me to a lie detector test on any of the subject matter I've brought up and prove that I've been misrepresenting the nature of the situation or the nature of my life or the experiences I had, even if it's to the point of exaggerating them, if they're unbiased in the point of me exaggerating it, I'll give you 50,000 Canadian dollars, and if I can't produce it, I go to jail. Yet I'm very compelled to put my name out there and say this. Thank you for listening. I've said to you before, it's the most sickening thing to have someone trying to ruin your day so much that eventually you want to go to sleep because you're so grossed out that there's people like that in the world doing that kind of evil shit. I never want to give it to you again. no one talking to me in song is really anything I'm going to talk to. I know how you do things, and it's not anything I should listen to. I don't care. I don't hate anyone involved, but that's the reality of what you did. And you're trying to fucking argue. The point is just pathetic. You didn't even do anything. Like, you had a right to. Someone just assured you get away with something, so you did. And you telling someone not to fuck me or do anything with me, so you could try and sell lies like, I'm suddenly unattractive now after everything that happened beforehand. Suddenly it's that after your fucking encounter with someone. You're dirty loser shit. I'll never think anything but the opposite of myself just because you're doing that, you creep. You're such a reprehensible fucking asshole. And you're fucking disgusting. Oh, here's another aspect of this I could add. After having sex with a man I met at random, the people doing this to me didn't like it, so I got to wake up the next day caked in blood with head injuries for having had sex with someone. And it wasn't enough that fucking Josh Davidson and Katie Johnson came and yelled the most disgusting, reprehensible shit they could. All this homophobic shit they yelled at me while I was having sex with a man. See, these are the kinds of things that they get up to when they have access to your subvocal processes and are given the ability to talk to you against your will whenever they want. You end up with this nonsense being done to your life. And why? So some fucking arrogant piece of lying shit can get away with hurting you. That's all it is. It's okay. I can say I'm really that hung up on it now. I don't think it matters. It just needs to be related once, I guess, and then put somewhere where other people know it, and it should be alright. Well, in that case, I'll put this online right now.